In the last lecture, we have already started your subject, that is metrology and quality control, and we have seen uh, the meaning of metrology. So metrology is nothing but the science of measurement, and it is just not limited to the engineering. It is available in every field, but in engineering purpose there are some limitations, like we are going to measure only length, angles, and other linear and angular terms. Okay, so in the last lecture we have seen the elements of the necessity and importance of metrology, that why we need to study this subject. So whatever we are learned, we are again discuss it again. For a design engineer, for a production engineer, for any case, we must have a knowledge of measurement. Why? Because not just a design engineer who is going to design instruments, he must require a knowledge of measurement. But as a role of production engineer, he must have a knowledge of measurement, because when he going to produce a particular product, he must have a knowledge of measurement to decide the size of workpiece or raw material for the production of that material. Okay, so for higher productivity and accuracy, we must have a knowledge of metrology. This part is already covered. I just remind you. Okay, so next we have seen, that is quality control. So quality control, the difference between metrology and quality control is that metrology is basically deals with the proper measurement. We have to measure the exact dimension of that particular object, and in case of quality control, we are going to just inspect that particular product and compare the value with the true value. So it will reduce our time and effort. For mass production, we are going to inspect the products only. We are not measuring each and every product, because in the last shift, if you are going to manufacture a 2000 3000 pieces per shift, then in that case it is not possible to measure each and every product. So in that case, we are going to inspect that particular product. Okay, next, we have already seen this 5-step method, how quality control is going to work. The first is, first we choose a sampling of that product, then we are going to measure the dimension, then the measured dimension are, then we calculate the deviation of that particular dimensions, then we produce a control chart and put the data on that particular control chart, so we can identify how the control chart behave. Okay, so these are the 5-step method of quality control. These eight your objectives of the metrology, like complete evaluation, then process capabilities, instrument capabilities, cost of inspection, cost of rejection, standardization, maintain accuracy, and prepare design. We already covered this part in the last lecture, but those who are missing this part, I already provide the video lecture of yesterday on your group, so you can view there. Okay. Okay, this part is also covered in the last lecture, that is the main three elements of measurement, that is first is your measurand, then second one is your reference, and third one is your comparator. And I have given you one example of measuring a simple MS plate, that how we can measure a particular object with the help of the elements like reference, comparator, and your measurand. So in the case of MS plate measurement, the MS plate is a measurand. The height of MS plate or length of MS plate is a measurand value. Reference, we are using a steel rule, that is a reference we use for the measurement. And third one is your comparator, that is your eyes. You are going to compare the length of that particular MS plate with the ruler, so you can identify or you can visualize the value of that particular object. Okay, so today we are discussing the methods of measurement. Okay, so there are basically two different methods of measurement. First is your direct method and second one is your indirect method. So what is the difference between direct method and indirect method? See, in direct method, each and every part is going to be measured with the help of some proper. Okay. Okay. ठीक है. Share screen. There is some network issue. But okay. So there are two methods. First is your direct method and second is your indirect method. In direct method, we are going to use some scales, vernier calipers, and micrometer, screw gauge, bevel protractor. These are the devices. These are the devices. By using these devices, we can measure the value. For example, if you have to measure a diameter of 100 product, suppose you are producing a 100 shaft and you are going to measure the 100 shaft with the help of direct method, then we use vernier calipers, micrometers. By using this, we can measure the diameter. But as I already told you, on the large production scale, it is not possible for us to measure each and every product. So in that case, we are going to use the indirect method. Here, in indirect method, what we are doing, a reference value. Okay. There is a network problem again and again. Okay. In indirect method, what we are doing, we are comparing that value with the some reference value. We are already set some reference for measurement of that particular product, and we compare the value with them. Okay. So in direct method, actual dimension are measured, or in indirect method, we are just comparing that the product is within manufacture within the limit or not. Okay. So for large production scale, we are using indirect method, or for batch production, we are using direct method. Okay. So this is all about your methods of measurement. The next, measuring system. Like like measurement, there are three elements of measurement, that is measurement, comparator, and your reference. In measuring system, there are five elements. These are: first is your standard, second one is your workpiece, third one is your instrument, fourth one is your person, and fifth one is your environment. Means what? Okay, people are going to add. Okay. Screen. In measuring system, there are five elements. First is your standard, second one is your workpiece, third one is your instrument, fourth one is a person, and fifth one is the environment. Means what? These are the basic five elements required for the measuring system. Suppose you have to measure a length of a bolt and diameter of that particular bolt. Then in that case, how this five element system works? So first is your standard. If we have to measure the length and diameter of that particular bolt, then we have some basic standards or ISO standard. The value with which we are going to compare, that should be standard value. So standard must be requirement, your first priority for the measuring system. Okay. See, the most basic element of the measurement is standard, without which no measurement is possible. Okay. Then second one is your, once the standard is chosen, select a workpiece on which the measurement will be performed. Okay. So once you decided the standard, then select a workpiece whose measurement is going to be done. Then third one is your instrument. Instrument means what? the instrument used for the measurement of that particular object. Okay, and fourth one is your person. Obviously a person should be required for the measurement. It should be skill or not skill. That is the part of later we will see. As per the measuring instrument, we should require some cases we doesn't require skill workers. In some cases we require some skill persons. Okay, then fifth is the environment. This fifth element is very important parameter because the environment effect in the measurement system, because the accuracy of your measurement is depend upon the environment. If you if you choose if you choose any particular environment, like you are working in the hot environment, then the reading of that particular object is different. And if you are measuring the particular product in other environment like cold environment or in air conditioning environment, then the value should be different. So for the precise measurement, we are like you if you are to measure a value of particular bearing in microns, then the temperature is a very important factor. You have to maintain the temperature within 24 to 22 degrees Celsius. So in that case, we have obtained the result are very accurate results. So these are the five elements of measuring systems. Okay, and precision. Okay. So what is the difference between accuracy and precision? See, uh, suppose we are going to manufacture a shaft of 200 diameter and length of 20 Okay. Then in that case, if we manufacture 10 number of shaft, then we are going to measure the value of that manufactured shaft. Then we got the reading like 199.98 mm, then 199.99 mm, 200.1 mm, 200.2 mm. So we are getting the result where are very closer to that particular true value that we are going to manufacture. We are going to manufacture a 200 diameter shaft, and the manufactured shaft having the diameter of 199.99 mm, 199.98 mm, 200.1 mm. So these values are very closer to the 200 value, but not exact value. In every production, we are not getting the exact value. There are n types of uh, many reasons behind that. That reasons we will discuss when we are going to discuss about the quality control and how to maintain the quality of that particular product. So we are not getting the accurate value, but the value which is in large accuracy is a degree of closeness to the true value. Okay, degree of closeness to the true value, or accuracy is defined as the degree to which the measured value agrees with the true value. Okay, so accuracy means what? The measuring value should be as close as to the true value. That is the accuracy. And what is precision? In case of precision, if we are measuring the 10 diameters, 10 different diameters, then we are finding the value like 198.99, 190 sorry 199.98, 199.981, 199.982. So this value having the true value, the difference is very large, but the values we are getting are very close to 199.98. So precision means what? The value is going to be repeated. The value is going to be repeated in a large content. It is not very closer to the true value, but which is repeated continuously. So that is the precision. Okay, so in the precision we are getting the values which are repeated in nature, and in accuracy we are getting the value which is closer to the particular true value. So this is the basic difference between accuracy and precision. In this diagram, if we are differentiate this precision and accuracy, then you are going to understand it well. See, in this diagram, there are four cases: A, B, C, and D. Shows the difference between concept of accuracy and precision. Here, in A case, three darts hit the target center and very close together. Means what? See here, the bullet darts are hit at the center. Means we we are getting higher accuracy because the dart are hit at center, as well as this dart having very less space in between them. The gap between these three values is very less. That's why it is also a precision value. Means we are getting in case A with higher accuracy and higher precision. Okay, the difference between true value and the measure value is also less, and we are the repeated values are very close to each other. That's why it is a accurate as well as precise. In B case, the three darts hit the target at the center and not very close together. Means they are hitting at the center, means they are accurate, but the difference between these three values is very large. That's why these are very accurate but not precise. Okay, in C case, the three darts are hitting out from the center, away from the center, but they are hitting at some exact place, so they are not very accurate because the values very precise but not accurate. Okay, then okay, okay, share. Oh, and in last case, the darts are hitted away from the center and having the difference between them is very large, so this is not accurate as well as not precision. So these are the four cases with higher accuracy and higher precision, then higher accuracy but low precision, then low accuracy with higher precision, and